Hello everybody, video here for you today. Beyond Oak Island is a show in which the History Channel and Rick and Marty Lagina get involved with other treasure mysteries. If you miss any of my recaps of The Curse of Oak Island or Beyond Oak Island, there's a link to the playlist in the upper right. This is the no-cap recap of Season 1, Episode 5 of Beyond Oak Island called Deep Water Gold. Let's get into it. In the Oak Island War Room, hosts Matty Blake and brothers Rick and Marty Lagina discuss the progress that year on Oak Island. This would have been filmed sometime in 2020, probably. The topic of having a diver explore the C1 shaft comes up, and Marty says he would want John Chatterton for the job. He began scuba diving at age 10 and has done dives on the wrecks of such famous ships as the Andrea Doria and the Titanic. Also, he dove into Borehole 10X on Oak Island. As an aside, I'm recording this on January 30th, 2022, and on the February 1st episode of The Curse of Oak Island, they are going to begin sinking 4 10-foot wide steel shafts in the Money Pit area in an attempt to collect the gold and silver items proven to be there by water sample test. I think they said that John Chatterton will be involved in diving those. They contact John via video conference, and he says he will always make room in his schedule if they need him on Oak Island. A month earlier, John and his team began a search for the Florindina, a Spanish galleon that sank in 1733 carrying a fortune in gold, silver, and jewels. It is one of the ships never found that were a part of a fleet of 21 Spanish ships that were heavily armed and came to the area. Like the 1715 fleet featured on Beyond Oak Island Season 2, Episodes 1 and 4, the latter of which just aired 5 days before I recorded this recap, the ships left Havana, Cuba, and encountered a hurricane off the Florida Keys. Many of the sailors survived and made it to shore, but most of the ships either crashed into the rocks or sank in deeper water. John and his team used a magnetometer to try to find the cannons or anchors of a ship. After hours of searching in a straight line grid pattern without a definitive hit, they decided to dive the Infante, which is one of the other ships in that fleet. The lookouts on the Infante were the last people to see the Florindina, so they are hoping to find clues. The Infante had previously been found by salvagers, and after 30 minutes, John and his team located it. The hull is very thick because it had just been replanked due to the hurricane dangers. The divers spent an hour documenting and confirming the Infante before returning to their ship. Fast forward to that video conference a month later, and John tells the guys that they are doing more research, trying to narrow the search area for the Florindina. John also tells them that he thinks his team has found the San Miguel, the oldest Spanish shipwreck in the Americas. That ship likely had Incan and Mayan artifacts on it. John says that he is hoping to work with the Dominican Republic government to allow them to find and salvage the San Miguel. Metal detection expert Gary Drayton joins the guys in the war room with the coin he just found on Oak Island. He also shows them a picture of his precious, a 22.5 karat Inca gold with 9 flawless emeralds worth $750,000. He found that on the beach after he saw salvagers blowing sand off the reef in the direction of the shore. He showed the guys the ring in person when they visited him at his home in the second season premiere of Beyond Oak Island, the 1715 Treasure Fleet Part 1. Narrator Robert Clotworthy explains that hurricanes are the reason that so much South American treasure has been found off and on the coast of Florida. Spanish and English ships trying to return home with looted treasure would often run into bad weather in that area. Also, one expert says that a lot of treasure was smuggled, meaning there would be more treasure on the ship than was on the manifest, so that the taxes on it could be avoided. Case in point was that more treasure than was on the manifest was recovered from several shipwrecks. Another way they avoided taxes was to make jewelry out of it, which was not taxed. Next, they talk about Lake Toplitz in Austria, where eyewitnesses reported that Nazis dumped treasures they looted from throughout Europe into the lake so that they would not be taken by the Allies. In particular, an innkeeper watched the Nazis put around 60 crates on a barge, which then they sunk in the middle of the lake. Search attempts are extremely difficult because only the top 65 feet is fresh water. Below that is very salty and there is no oxygen. Because of this, nothing decomposes down there. In the late 1950s, a dive funded by a German magazine brought up £350 million worth of English counterfeit currency. The bills were perfectly preserved in the lake's unique waters. The bills were part of an operation that was designed to destroy the English economy. A more recent group used side-scan sonar to find a rectangular opening 275 feet down, but the government prevented them from diving on it. In the closing segment, Gary mentions that he sometimes finds wedding rings and gets to give them back to the people that lost them. I'll continue to catch up on the Season 1 recaps as well as do the Season 2 recaps soon after they are aired on the History Channel. The next Season 1 episode of Beyond Oak Island is called Episode 6, Civil War Gold. If you missed any of my recaps for the Curse of Oak Island or Beyond Oak Island, there should be a link to that playlist on the screen now. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your support. Thank you.